Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan from over50resource.com. I know it's a little early. I'm kind of stumbling for words, but it is 3:34 in the morning and I'm recording this video before I go to work. Now, speaking about work, today I wanted to just have a one-on-one chat with you guys about investing on a low income. Is it really possible to invest on a low income? I know I see these kind of comments all the time when I'm on Facebook and Reddit and all these other forums, is that I can't invest. I don't make a lot of money. How do you expect me to invest with the cost of food, price of gas, everything's so high, I've got kids and all this stuff. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not easy. As you see, I'm here 3:30 in the morning. I'd love to still be asleep. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. Actually, it was 2:45, and I'd love to sleep in until about 4 o'clock and then get up, take a shower, and head off to work. But I do these videos because this is my side gig that I'm trying to build up. And I also have another side gig that I work on. So let me tell you guys how I do this. And if I can do this, then I think anybody can do it. Yes, it's going to be hard, but things that are easy, things that are beneficial are not easy. If it was easy, anybody would do it. But I'm going to tell you straight up, it's not easy. It might have been easy when I was 20 years old, but now that I'm 50, it's a little bit harder. All right, so let's get into it. So I make $14.50 an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So we're going to figure out how much $14.50 an hour is, okay? All right, guys, so I make $14.50 an hour, and I need my calculator because my math sucks. So we're going to do $14.50 an hour and work 37 hours a week times 37 equals $536 every week. So we're going to times that by 52 weeks because there's 52 weeks in a year. That's $27,894. And then you got to take into consideration taxes and all that stuff and my deductions and stuff. So that doesn't leave me a lot. And if you guys missed that video where I showed you guys how I invest my paycheck, I highly suggest that you guys watch that. But anyway, so is it really possible to invest with, let's just say after taxes, I might make $21,000, $6,000 in taxes. I might be a little bit off, but bear with me. I don't know how much I'm going to pay in taxes, but it's a lot since I'm single and I'm employed. Single people and employed people get taxed the most. So you can expect at least $6,000, maybe even more. Oh, and I have no dependents. So you get taxed tons of money. So we're just going to say we're going to work with, let's just say $21,000 per year. Can you really invest with $21,000 per year? Well, you guys saw my last video, and if you didn't, I highly recommend you watch it because I showed you my pay stub where you saw all my deductions, my taxes, and where I put my money. Well, what you don't know is I ended up investing more money off of camera. I think I invested another $100 into my M1 Finance, which is a brokerage account, and then $50 into my Vanguard brokerage account. So that probably left me about $280, give or take, somewhere around there, that I have for 2 weeks until I get paid again the following, not this Friday, but the following Friday. So how is that possible? Well, as I mentioned, for one, I am fortunate that I have a partner who makes pretty decent money. So she pays most of the bills as well as the food. We do invest a portion of her money into the Roth IRA, but her company does not offer a 401k. So we just do a Roth and then a brokerage account for her. For me, we're trying to max out as much as we can and use a lot of my income for doing that, since I don't make a ton of money. Also, I have a side gig, and the side gig, I'll show you guys a video through that, but last month, I'll just give you guys a synopsis of what I made last month. So last month, I made $3,910 from my side gig. Now, last year, I was doing a lot better, and that's why I didn't have a job last year, was because I think I grossed $105,000 from my side gig. So this year, I'm at $38,312 for my side gig. So it's a huge difference. So I probably will make about $60,000 to $70,000 from my side gig this year. But being that it is a side gig, the money is so inconsistent, you don't really know what you're going to make it till the end of the year. Plus, with the economy and everything, the money from the side gig has been dwindling, and I've noticed a huge difference. But anyway, so what I'm saying to you guys is that in order to be able to invest with a small income, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to start a side gig that brings you in, let's just say even $1,000 per month, extra per month, because if you don't, then it's going to be hard for you to do a side or to invest, because I know that not everybody has a partner, not everybody that doesn't have kids. I mean, everybody has responsibilities, and what your responsibilities are different from mine. So how much you can invest on your small income is going to be it's going to fluctuate. So if you want to invest as much as you can, which at 50, we have to invest as much as we can. So I saw on a video I was watching the other day, there's a website out there called Mr. Money Mustache, and he has a chart that shows you if you were to invest so much of your income, you could retire in so many years. And I'll pull that chart up and you can see this chart and go through it. Well, this chart is geared towards people who have time on their side. Well, as a 50-year-old, you still have some time. I'm not saying that you're completely out of time, but we have less time. So that means we have to invest as much as we can in a shorter amount of time to make the compound work for us, because unfortunately, we don't have time on our side for the compound to work. So it doesn't mean that you can't retire a millionaire. It just means that you have to find a way to shovel in as much money as you can when you're older than somebody who has time. If you started when you were 18, you'd only have to invest maybe $100, $200 a year or a month. I'm sorry, not a year, a month. And then you could become a millionaire by the time you're in your mid 50s, early 50s, depending on how much you invested per year and how well your investments did. But for us, we have to not only, if you have a small income like I do, which is $1,450, then you're going to have to work a side business. And when you start earning from that side income, you don't spend it. What you do is, and now you also have to put money aside from your side income for taxes, because I'm not a tax advisor, so make sure that you seek professional advice. But one thing I've noticed for my business is that I get taxed a ton, because when you're self-employed, you have self-employment taxes, plus you have to pay, when you have a job, your employer pays a part of your taxes as well as your Social Security. When you're self-employed, you're paying for everything. So you get taxed a ton. At least that's what I've noticed. But the good thing is that you do have, if you do start making self-employed taxes, you want to make sure you open a solo 401k. Now, as I said, make sure you seek professional advice. I'm not giving you guys any type of tax advice. This is what I've noticed. I was paying a fortune in taxes. I think the last 2 years before I opened up my solo 401k last year, I was paying massive amounts of taxes. And last year I was able to open up a 401k. I still paid a lot of taxes, but I was able to put $28,000 into my solo 401k, which benefits me. So I don't mind paying my taxes, but if I can save more for myself for my later years, then that's what I want to do, because investing in just your Social Security, I mean, I don't mind paying into Social Security because eventually I plan on using it if it's still there, but I don't want to put all my money in that basket, because what's to say that it's going to be there and I'm ready to use it. Anyway, I don't know, 12 years, let's just say 62. I don't know what year, I don't know when you can start collecting it, but I'm not sure it's going to be there when I'm ready to start using it. And I don't know how with the whole problems that they're having with Social Security, I'm not sure how it's going to affect my benefits. So I like to put away my own income and invest it in something that I'm going to know for sure that it's there for me. Now, I also don't know what the stock market's going to be doing at that time, but I feel better knowing that I have my own investments and I'm not relying 100% on Social Security. So when you do start doing your side gig, regardless of what you do, and as I said, I'll show you guys my side gig later in the next video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So what you are going to do, what you're going to realize is that it's hard. It is not easy. Like I said, here I am recording this video at 3:30 in the morning. I'd much rather have slept in than have gotten up, taken a shower, made my coffee, and talking to you guys on video. But I know that working at Lowe's is not going to make me wealthy or help me set me up for retirement. So here I am recording a video for you guys. So the thing about it is that you're going to have to sacrifice your time. You're going to have to sacrifice your sleep. Either you're going to have to sacrifice your sleep and get up before work like I do. I'm a morning person, so I found that it's easier for me to get up earlier in the morning. The bad thing is that it is kind of hard to get up every day because Lowe's my schedule is so inconsistent. I can work 5 days. I don't have a Monday through Friday job. Like this week, I'm working Monday through Saturday, and then I'll have Sunday off. And then I'll work again until next Friday where I have another day off. So I do get 2 days off per week, but they're split days off. Sometimes they're split days off and sometimes they're consistent. But most of the time they're split days off because it's retail. And I'll tell you what, I hate it. It's hard to work a job where you don't have a regular days off. So I put in for another position at work that's going to be Monday through Friday. It's still going to suck. I'm not happy working for $14.50 an hour, but it is what it is. And like I said in the other video, the job is close to home. I don't want to have to commute. I don't plan on doing this forever. I just am planning to do this for hopefully maybe just 1 to 2 years. It just depends on how long it takes for the economy to recover and my income from my business to shoot back up. But the bad thing that when you do start working a side gig, like I said, you're going to have to sacrifice your sleep or you're going to have to sacrifice your TV time. Statistics show that Americans spend about 141 hours of watching TV per month. I mean, I don't even know how you spend so much time watching TV, but watching TV, if you want to invest in your future and you want to change your life, you're going to have to stop watching TV. So much TV. I'm not saying you have to stop it completely, but let's just say you get home at 5 o'clock, you cook dinner, and then you put the kids to sleep or whatever you do, your routine. You're going to have to set aside an hour to an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours per night and bust ass. I mean, that's it. You're going to have to bust ass, especially in the beginning when you start getting the ball rolling, because I'll tell you what, when I started my side hustle that I have that made $100,000 last year, I busted my ass. I mean, I didn't have, of course, granted, I did it different. I didn't have a job and I worked on it full time. I was spending 12, 14 hours a day trying to get it to work, and it was hard to get the ball rolling. But once the ball gets rolling, it gets a little bit easier, so you don't have to spend so much time on it. But you can't leave, depending on the type of business that you have, you can't leave it completely alone. Unless you outsource your work, you're going to have to continue to work on it because nothing is truly passive. I don't care what they say, unless you're buying stocks like dividends. Those are the only true passive income things that you want. Now, I'll tell you guys, I have several blogs, about 3 or 4 blogs that I work on a consistent basis, and really I only work on 2, but I have 4. And these blogs, I've had 2, I believe, for about 3 years, and then another 2, they're newer. I've had them for about 1.5 years. So I haven't touched them in a week, but they continue to make me money every day. But if I continue to leave them alone for, let's just say, 6 months or longer, eventually that money is going to dwindle down. But all the work that I've put into it in the front end eventually pays off and gives me a little bit of a breather. So now that I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel, I'm focusing more on the YouTube channel. And that's why I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning. But anyway, enough rambling, guys. So what I wanted to say, the only way you're going to be able to invest when you have a small income is that you're going to have to start a side hustle. There are several side hustles you can do today. And that's the great thing is that when we were growing up and we were kids, if you're a Gen Xer like me, you didn't have access to the internet. So there wasn't a lot you could do. Your only options were that you could mow lawns, get another job, or something to that effect. We didn't have access to the internet. So you couldn't create a YouTube channel, you couldn't create blogs, you couldn't do all this stuff. Now, when we were older, you probably could, but I didn't know anything about this, not until maybe I don't know, 5 years ago when I started my blogs, give or take. And I've actually been on an entrepreneurial journey for several years. I could write a book on all my failures, but I finally found something that worked, maybe give or take about 3-4 years ago. I don't know, maybe it was about 5 years ago that I've actually started making money. And it wasn't until last year when I made over 100,000. Before that, it was barely anything. So I want you guys to know that the only way life is going to change if you have a small income is you're going to have to get a side gig. And when you get that side gig, make sure that you're separating your income. You open up a separate bank account. What I do is I have an LLC for my blog business. And then I have a business bank account where I set up and I put all my business income comes into my business bank account. So I don't even see it in my personal account so that I don't commingle funds. At the end of the month, when I've gotten all my business money, what I do is I use that money to pay for my monthly business costs, which amount to about $200. Nothing really amazing, nothing really huge. And then what I do is I opened up a business savings account and I push that money. I push at least as much money as I can. I leave at least, I don't know, I like to leave at least $1,500, give or take, in my business savings account or business checking account. The rest of the money I push into my business savings account. And this money stays there until the end of the year, where it is allotted for taxes, solo 401k, paying the CPA. And then once the CPA does my taxes, I go ahead and I pull the money from my business savings account and I pay he tells me how much I can fund for my solo 401k, how much I have to pay for taxes and everything. And then that money goes out to different areas. And then I repeat the process. Business. I don't spend my side gig business money for anything. Now, if I need a new computer, I need a new iPad or something that's going to be used to help me make money, then I do. But as far as like for personal stuff, that money is not touched. The only money that I use for buying personal stuff is my Lowe's income. So that way I know for sure that the money that I'm making for my side gig is going towards my future, and the money that I make from Lowe's is for my present. And if I need to cut back on investing, if I'm investing too much on my Lowe's income, I can slow that down. But I know for sure that the business income is there for me to invest at the end of the year. And my goal with my business income is to max out my solo 401k, because that is the only thing that I invest with my business income. Now, the good thing about a solo 401k, and this is why I recommend you open one as soon as you get a side gig money start coming in, any amount of side gig money, you open up a solo 401k, because a solo 401k, even if you have an employer 401k, you can contribute to a solo 401k. The thing is that you have to watch how much you can contribute to. You need to go to the IRS website and check it out. With the solo 401k for 2023, the limits are $66,000 that you can invest into it, or $73,500 if you're older in 2023. Those are the limits. Now, the thing about that is when you have an employer and you have a solo 401k, you still have to make sure that you don't over contribute. And that's why I have a CPA, because he's going to take care of everything to make sure that I'm contributing the right amounts. Now, I've never been able to max out my solo 401k. I would love it if I could. But unfortunately, as I said, I don't make a ton in my side gig. And you don't need to make a ton, honestly. Even if you guys are behind and you're just starting from scratch in your retirement like I am, the good thing is that you don't need $1 million. Everybody says you need $1 million to be able to retire. You really need to sit down and figure out how much you need. So what you do is sit down and figure out how much you need, what you're paying in expenses right now. And I think they say you times that by 25. And then that can tell you how much you need to be able to live comfortably in retirement. But like I said, I'm not striving for $1 million. I mean, I would love it if I hit $1 million, but honestly, I don't think that's going to happen, because, I mean, like I said, I'm starting from scratch. I started 3 years ago, and I'm not at zero, but I'm not at, I haven't even reached 100,000 yet in my retirement accounts. So, it is what it is, but I feel like the more I can put in right now, the better I am is going to be than if I don't do anything about it. So anyway, guys, enough rambling. I just wanted to share with you guys how you would save for retirement if you have a small income. Like I said, you're going to have to do a side gig. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. A job's just not going to do it. That's why they say a job means just over broke. It's going to, you use once again, you use your low income paying job to pay for today's needs, meaning you use it to pay for your food, your gas, your home, your utilities, your bills, whatever bills you have. And if you have a ton of bills, then what you want to do, the first thing is you want to use your side gig income to pay your high interest credit cards down. Once those are paid down, then you want to start investing. Open up a high yield savings account. And then you want to fund it with at least 3 to 6 months worth of emergency expenses. And the reason they call this a rainy day fund, and the reason you want a rainy day fund is because if something happens, you want to be able to pull that money out instead of having to sell stocks if you need money. Then once you've gotten all your high interest credit card payments down, then you want to start funneling money into your retirements, your Roth, whatever you want, even your brokerage accounts. And where I put most of my money, I put most of my money in ETFs like the S&P 500 and the VTFAX. I think it's the total stock market. I don't remember the symbol, the ticker symbol, I think. But anyway, I do those. And then I also have an ETF in M1, which is SCHD. And then I do also some individual stocks for dividends. But most of my money is going into ETFs and mutual funds because it's just safer than putting it into single stocks. So anyway, guys, this is what I wanted to do to tell you guys that the only way that it's going to happen if you have a small income like me is to make some sacrifices and start a side gig. And there's plenty of side gigs out there. And I'm going to show you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe to this video. Hit that thumbs up button. And be notified whenever I put out a new video, because the next video I'm going to walk you guys through is show you guys my side gig on how I'm making money. I do make some money through a YouTube channel that I have. I started a while back, but it's not something that I really enjoyed making. And so this YouTube channel, I'm hoping to grow it and start monetizing it whenever the time comes. I'm not sure when that'll be. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Bye.